We in the building, everybody. We in the building and we about to make something. We're about to make a homecoming dress for a young lady at the last minute. Yes, we are. Now, of course, normally I would say don't be out here trying to do that for customers at the last minute. But because I have literally no other garments to make right now, I can actually kind of pull this sucker off right quick. And that's what we're going to do. So I have two pieces of fabric up here. Of course, she's not getting this for her homecoming dress. This is something I'm gonna make for myself later if I have time to, of course. But I don't need it for like another month, 2 months in advance. But we have the stuff that we need to make a dress: our ruler, straight edge ruler, our chalk, pins, scissors. We'll have thread. I use Gutermann thread. I You can use any thread, but Gutermann thread is really good, really really good. And of course, I have my measurements for the young lady. Of course, I have all the notes in the world in here. I have all my notes, all my notes, all my notes, and it keeps going. Where have I put? Oh Lord! All right, here we go. I have my customer's notes. She wants a mini dress for homecoming number one. I have her phone number. I have her price range, her budget. Her budget is anything under 150. Seeing how it's a cocktail dress, even though I'm making it last minute, I should charge double or at least half the price and half, which would be 150 basically. But that is her actual budget is 150. However, we're gonna work with her either way. The color she wants to rock with was pink. I told her we'll see what's out there and we'll work with that. I suggested a nice mauve, but with a satin just to give it that little zhuzh that she was looking for. We also have to do rhinestones dress for her. We're not going to do that today because we don't have them today, but we will get them on here. And she wants to have a nice, cute little bow in the back. So let's get started. Alrighty, so we got the dress. And we've got the fabric, should I say, not the dress. The fabric is very nice. It's not a true mauve. The wrong side is like a genuine mauve. The correct side is more of a nice pink. It's very satiny. It's nice. I love it. I don't think you're going to get the true color out of it. But let's get to cutting out this dress. Since it's going to be a short little hot mamacita type of dress, we are going to fold the fabric the long way. And because we want to make sure we maximize the way we cut this dress out, and we don't want to mess ourselves up by cutting it the wrong way, and then we say, oh my gosh, I've wasted so much fabric. So you got to figure out which way you want to cut it. I'm going to make the fabric go the long way, whatever you call that. I don't remember exactly. But I'm putting the two salvaged edges together. And from here, we're going to get ready to sew some things. It's not going to be too long. Make sure your fabric is even. Alrighty. And what we're going to do is, when I say we're making a very simple dress, we're making an extremely simple dress. Simple. Like so simple that it's just like, really? Wow. It's a really simple dress that we're going to make today. No fabric, I don't want to lay right though. I don't want to put on this dirty floor, but I got no choice. Give me 1 second so I can fold this up the way it needs to be folded right fast. Fold up the bottom first. Alexa, volume 4. Alexa, volume 3. Hello, how are you? Alrighty, so we're getting ready to keep rolling with making this dress. It's about to be super duper 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 cute. It's gonna be on that cuteness. And in order to do that, first things first, getting the fabric laid out the way it's supposed to be laid out. And we are going to, I almost want to pull a quick little, just make it one seam in the back. Like that would be epic, y'all. That would be so epic to do this dress in one seam. Hallelujah. 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 Oh my gosh, I want to do that so bad. But I think I shouldn't. I really want to though. I'm not gonna front. I really, really would. I really, really want to. I really, really want to. I want to just do the center front on the fold and then literally bring it back according to her measurements so that she's like 31 and a half bust. She wants kind of like a sweetheart neckline, her waist, her under bust. Y'all think we could pull it off, or should we just make it two side pieces like we're supposed to? And we have to put a zipper in. So on that note, we're not gonna do that. I was thinking, I'm always trying to think like, how can I make this dress in one fell swoop? But anyway, so when it comes to putting a garment together, now granted, we're not making an actual pattern because the dress is so simple. I already know how to do this dress. First of all, what you're gonna do is you're gonna come down 1 inch from your edge. I know you can't see that, but you're going to come down 1 inch from the edge of your garment, or basically wherever you want to start at. Pretty much is what you're doing. So actually, let's come down 2 inches. So we're going to start at 2 inches, marking right there. This is the top of our garment. That's mark right there. It's the top of our garment. And her bust is 31 and a half. Half of 31 is 15 technically. Half of 31 is 16. No, 15 and a half gets you 31. Yeah, because 15 and a half plus 15 and a half is 31. So it's like 15 and 3/4 is what we need her bust area to be. Now, when you measure where her bust line should start at, you would go, I'm sorry, Give me a second. Alrighty, tighty. Let's go back to doing this once more. So her bust. We're going to come down off of this. We're going to make sure we add spaghetti straps to her dress. So we're just going to say that this is our beginning mark. And if you want to, you can come over exactly 16, just because we also need to allow for the seam allowance. We're going to come over 16 from the center front. We're going to do 16. But I kind of want to do 16 and a half. We're going to do 16 and a half because you can always add. You can always take away. It's hard to add. So that's where her bust line's going to be. And then we're going to take our straight edge ruler and kind of like connect the dots, if you will. That bust line is going to change. It's not going to be a straight edge bust because nobody is in the shape of a box. No one. It doesn't matter what your shape is. Nobody's in the shape of a box, period. They might say you have a boxy shape, but that's not so. No one person is a straight box, period. Because she wants a sweet line, neckline, we're going to curve this right in here. Now her underbust, we're just going to go down 3.5 inches because for the circumference of the bust, the bust line, the boob itself, we're going to come down just like 3.5 inches, no more than 4 inches. And from there, what we're going to do is do our underbust. And her underbust was 24, or is 24. Half of 24 is 12. So from there, we're going to measure 12. And that's what it needs to come in. But it's not going to truly come in right there because that's very, like, direct. We're going to do it at 13. So you see, we're already beginning to make this line that's going to start to curve inward. I know you cannot see everything because the camera is so far away, but just take heed to what I'm doing. I know. You're like, but you're so far away. How could I know what you're doing? Now, mind you, technically, I am actually doing this without having a side seam. I think we might rock the no side seam. We're going to just have a center back seam. Hello, how can I help you? Yes, we are, till 6 p.m. Yeah. Okay. So, waist is 25. Now, on average, your waist is probably 12 inches down from your underarm, generally. I'm going to measure that. Actually, probably like less than that. It's probably like 9. It's like 8, 9 inches. So, going down 8, 9 inches, that's where her waistline, and that's what I drew. 8, 9 inches down from your underarm is where your waistline is where your waist would go. And her waist needs to be no more than 25. Half of 25 is 12 and a half, right? So 12 and a half. Yep, and I've allotted for seam allowance here. So that's 12 right there. This is going to be a teeny bit big for a girl, but it's okay. Alrighty, and then we're going to go down into her hip area, which is just below here, right there. Her hips are a 34 and a half. Half of 34 would be 17. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. We're going to come down a smidge more. I know you can't see, but it's okay. Trust me. You'll get the gist of it once I cut it. This fabric does have stretch to it. I hope I'm not cutting out stretch here. Yeah, I'm cutting out the way to stretch. That's something you always have to pay attention to. If your fabric has stretch, make sure you're cutting it out according to the stretch that the garment has. And I'm just bringing it over and in. Yep. And we're going to cut this dress out. Yep. That's it. So if we were to have done it where we cut out a front and a back, of course it would be different. Technically, I could take this, I could shift this over just a smidgen. So I'm done. If I wanted to be done, I could honestly, genuinely say I'm done. But you would have to add in darts in here for sure in order for this to fit really right. Like there is a dart that probably needs to be added right in the front on either side of it just to form the way it should around the bust line area. Not to alleviate, to omit having to do that, you would cut out a front and a back straight up to do, to do it that way. Now, if I wanted to play with this fabric and just be like, okay, we're gonna do two of them, and we're gonna show you one way to do it like this, and then we ain't got time for that. This girl needs to dress literally in like 2 weeks, so we're not gonna play. We don't have time for adjustment. And then when you do that, if you didn't buy extra fabric from the beginning, trust me when I say, if you go back to the store and that fabric's all gone, you can just go be like, ah! And nobody wants that. That's not fun. That's not fun at all. So what I'm about to do is, these are my measurements exact for what I need to do, but I'm going to create another pattern to allot for her front and her back. I know y'all like, what are you doing? Okay, so the center back is going to be, the front's going to be on the fold generally, and then you're going to allow for the curvaceous of the body to be right there. Boom. That's that. And then you have the other portion that you have to do, which is your back, the back itself. And when it comes to that, your sides of your back are going to curve, but your center back is not. Does that make sense? Your sides always curves, but your center front and your center back never curve. There you go. There's your answer. Now you might say, what are you doing then? I am shifting the stress over, and I'm only focusing on the front. So when you're doing that, you would have done half of the body. So if her bust is 31 and a half of her body would have been 16. It would have been 15 and 3/4. 15 and 3/4 is half of 31 and a half for her front section. But then when you're doing the pattern itself, it needs to be half of 15 and 3/4. And that is 7 and like whatever that is, 7 inches and some change. 7 and a half and whatever, like 7 and 3/4 or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on it because I'm not 100% sure. Which would mean this measurement I have right here should be a little tighter. but I can leave it there because that allows, yeah, that'll be it right there. Give me 1 second. Is this mic on? Yeah, okay. All right. So, as I was saying, it needs to be brought in to a 7.5. And that works right there. That works. It works. It works. It works. It works. It works. We got it. So that measurement that we had is a little bit over 7.5, which is fine. And then we're going to come straight down. This is going to be the front of her dress. This is the front of her dress. This is her front of her dress. The front of her dress is just before us. And then watch, this right here is going to fit for just the back half of her dress. So technically, you're always going to do half of the body measurement and then an additional half, and you're actually cutting out different parts and pieces of the measurements for that person's measurements for the pattern that you need to create. Half of the measurements, half of half. And there you go. So I'm at like 7 3/4 there. Then you come down to her waist. And her waist originally is 25. And then this right here is 5.5, which actually means that it's 10. This is a little bit too tight for her waist. I need to take it back some. This measurement here is too small. This is 5.5, so technically I'm at 11. And then the back would need more, so we're not going to do that. We're going to take it over. Let's make it a 6. So, to save myself the trouble, shifting it back a smidge. 12. Yep, that'll give it to us what we're looking for. Alrighty. That looks good. Yeah. 12 inches. That's about right. That's good. And now what we're going to do is get ready to make our back piece. So our back piece is going to mimic this curve that we already have here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in real close. Technically, you don't have to do that. I'm showing y'all tricks. I'm showing you a bunch of tricks that you could do. We're going to flip this way when we get ready to cut out the center back, because our center back is going to be straight. Anyways, it's going to be a straight edge for our center back. Our side seam is where we have our difference. All right, so follow me, baby. Follow me, baby. Follow me, baby. Okay, so we're going to cut it. I'm going to go to the other side to cut this. Alrighty, so like my scissors, these are Fiskars. Fiskars scissors. I'm going to add some length just as a precaution, because you can always cut it shorter later. All right. And then we're going to cut this upper. She wanted a sweetheart neckline, so all I'm going to do is just clip this right here and go into a curve. Yep. cut that across just like so. Move this out the way. And then we're going to cut this curve. Cut. This blue chalk line I have will never be seen because I'm going to sew on the inside of that. I'm cutting real awkward. Okay. And now we're going to flip this way. And we are going to cut out our back. Make sure your fabric is smooth and all that good stuff. And we are literally mimicking where we already just cut out. I'm not using this raw edge, the salvage edge. I'm cutting just next to it only because I know that I want to allow myself to have room to sew as well as be certain to be able to take it in versus having to let it out. And then I'm just going straight. You know what? I forgot. I think she said she wanted a low back. She did say she wanted a low back. Give me a second. Okay, so the young lady said she did want to have a lower back, but before I do that, let me go ahead and just cut this out first. I could have made a pattern, but I didn't feel like it. Honestly, I did not feel like making a pattern. Okay, so this is our center back piece on this side, which we will sew. This right here on these either side is where we have our sides, which we will, this is like a very distinct side piece, but it's okay. I kind of don't like the way that's looking. I feel like I should take it down some. Okay. The only other thing is to make a bow. Alrighty, so I'm just trying to think, make sure I'm thinking everything through before I start sewing it. Okay, the other thing we gotta do is make a bow. A bow is easy to make. A bow ain't nothing but a rectangle. A bow ain't nothing but a rectangle, baby. So she wanted a bow that was about that big. Now, that's large. It's very large for a bow. But question is, am I going to actually do it this way? And then she wanted rhinestones on this bow. And I think that's where I have to go ahead and like do a whole little shebang to give her that. Um, okay. Yep. So I don't have any measurements for this. I'm literally just doing it this way. And I'm just eyeballing this bow we're going to make. Now, the thing about this bow action that we're going to make, yeah, I don't know. That's tasteful to me that way. But, for a bow, I think that works. That's like perfect for a bow. You don't want it to be like too much, but it also needs to have um, some interfacing or some horsehair added into it to really make it do what it's supposed to do. But we'll figure that out later. We'll figure that part out later. Um, so I think we're going to stop here. Or should we keep going? It's already 35 minutes. Yeah. So this is the dress. As you can see, this is the shapeness of the dress and everything like that. Boom, bada bing, bada bang. We're going to sew this in place, and I'm going to say, we're going to stop right quick. I could keep going though. Do I have time? I just might have a little bit of time. I think I have a little bit of time. We got time. We can sew this thing together right quick. We're going to, okay, so we're going to do the bow. For the bow, I'm just. All right, so we're going to stitch this on the edge here, and we're going to close it up by going this way and that way. The only thing about closing it right now is that we haven't put the necessary parts to it, which is the horsehair and da 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 da. Interfacing or horsehair. Interfacing is going to make it for sure have a nice stiffness. If we do horsehair, it's going to or the horsehair braid, the braiding material that gives it a nice, it gives it a nice form, but it also gives it like cushiness, versus interfacing will just be stiff. So that's something we have to figure out as to whether or not am I going to sew it on now or later. Because once you sew this closed, it's closed. The only place I'm going to put the horsehair braid is like right here and then right here. Yeah. But I need to do it before I close it up. Yeah. In that sense, maybe we should wait. But I need her to see it. See, what I like to do is I like for when my customers come and they like see the process of it being made. Like they see the fabric and the design that they're going to, like the sketch and the fabric. But then they come for their first fitting. They're kind of like lost as to like, what is it supposed to look like? This isn't the picture. And then I'm like, okay, when you come to your next fitting, which I try to fit people within the first two fittings, like the first fitting, prayerfully, everything works just right. And it's like, bam, we're done. The second fitting is when it's like everything's going to be fit tight, nice, and just right. And you can take it home with you because I don't want to be bothered with you. If I have, not like that, but I just want to make sure I get it in and get it out and get it done. Then the third time, if I have to have one, I only have to do that maybe mainly for brides because generally everybody else is pretty much in the same weight alignment. And the event that they asking for isn't too far off from when I first cut their measurements and everything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But I am gonna sew this together right fast and then turn it inside out. I'm gonna show you how to do that right quick. We're gonna do that. All right, give me 2.5 seconds. No, I'm not. You don't have to go to part two. There will be a part two video. I gotta do work now, so thank you for watching. I'm serious. There will be a part two. Stick around for part two. Come back for part two. Love you. Have a good one.